ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸೀಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವುದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವರ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಯುನೀಕ್. ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡೆಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ನಿಜ. ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ತರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ರಪ್ಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಜನರೂ ಸಹ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಬೇಕು. ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್. ಐ ಗಿವ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಸೆಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಬೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ಯಾಡ್ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್. Mere information is not enough. You need to have some kind of inputs, knowledge, or the kind of vision for future, which is already there in the Magna Carta that we have dedicated to ourselves. So, ಇದನ್ನು ಜಾರಿಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಟುಡೇ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಯು ದ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಟನ್, ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಯು ಅ ಜಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಅಥವಾ ವಿದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಎ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಮಾಸ್ಡ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಲ್ತ್, ವೆನ್ ಹಿ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ಡ್ ಹಿಸ್ nomination paper some 20 years ago, what has that happened? Today, how much he has amassed? You and me get pension, and we live on pension with dignity. Whereas a politician without such a value system, he thrives and becomes, he continues in the political system. Therefore, I would say that in Western democracies, especially in US, there is a limit of 2 terms. Why not you think of that? More than 20 years, I don't think you can produce more than what you could have done or what you have already done. So that's one way of looking at it. I'm just thinking as a teacher, just an open session. That's one thing. Second thing is, every citizen should have a kind of informal approval for the candidature that is there. If the candidate is a wrong candidate, I'm not saying he's an angel. Candidate has to be accommodated within the parameters of our social economic system, including the reservations that are given. These are some of the best checks that we have. But I don't think people are worried. Soon after the election, till the next election comes, what he mentioned, we always just confess and lament. We never reflect and we never react. That participation is not there, which is there in the Western democracies. In smaller democracies, the best kind of democracy, you go and learn. You go and learn from New Zealand, one of the topmost countries, zero tolerance for corruption. Forget Singapore. There is a kind of a big hand behind that. The dictatorial democratic threat is there. Liu Kuan has said, even if some corruption is there, I will again come to Singapore and see that that person is punished on that. No, I'm not talking of that extreme, because our people are gullible. People are still influenceable. When legislators are purchasable to form the government, now how can you compare this with developed democracies? I don't think, except in banana republics in Africa, I don't think it is. So it is better not to compare, better to adopt the best of things that, 80% of the constitution is a borrowed one. It is not plagiarism. Plagiarism is something which is undetected kind of originality, I would say that. Because what is plagiarism? Digitalization, he mentioned. Everything is your own in public domain. So therefore, the democratic ethos, sorry, he mentioned about our discussing politics and events. They are my life and bread. If I put you a man of technology, you may become a destroyer of the very system that you, because through your technology you can control the whole system, but you can't control my mind, my aspirations, my vision, my growth, my future generation. So the present generation, what it should worry is how to see that good people, if not good people, right people, enter into politics through political parties. You have a check, or you call, what is that, recall system. If the representative is bad, corrupt, and a very provable kind of evidence, you recall him. What is wrong if you pay a little more, it will be not even 10%, 5% of the whatever the 80% corruption that we are tolerating today. These are all excuses given by very intelligent manipulators of the system. And they are there in the political system, they are there in the bureaucracy, they are also there in the technological era also. So don't think the technology itself will bring honesty, integrity and transparency, morality, ethics. These are required. Every day we should have a sense of judgment. What is that judgment? Immediately, right in front of me, my civic responsibility. Right in front of my city, the kind of city that we are developing. Right in front of my state, the kind of legislature that makes legislations. This kind of participation is a great opportunity for India to experiment this democracy. That much I will tell you. Perhaps by the time 2047 comes, our democracy will tell the other democracies or lesser democracies how to improve their democracy. That possibility is there, provided we march in that direction. That's what people's participation, vigilance, and ethical. I don't say ethical in the sense of the sannyasi type. I'm not saying. I have a responsibility, citizens' responsibility. Duties are there. Constitution has mentioned duties, but who bothers about those duties? Recently, we have mentioned duties. There was no need to mention duties in the Constitution because the very Constitution itself is a duty handed over to you. So that is, I think, the comparison with the Western democracies or developed democracies and patting ourselves or commenting about ourselves, I think that is an important thing for me. And because democracy is in the right line, it is on the right direction.